Welcome back, friends. Okay, so in honor of all the birthdays we've celebrated this month, Angry Producer Charlie, mine, yours, Angela Luna's, a lot of them, and the knowledge and wisdom we've gained throughout our years on this earth, I wanted to highlight and pay tribute to some television programs that have been influential in my life and I'm sure many other people's lives. So this first TV program was one of my favorite late night programs to watch as a kid. I loved it because it was a program that I could watch with my parents, and it consisted of TV shows that they grew up with. So in turn, I was kind of inadvertently learning about my parents' own childhood and what formed their sense of humor. Let's take a look.
After a long day when you've been to heck and back, coming home to TV Land feels good. You worked plenty hard, mister, so relax. Fire up your pipe, then say how do you do to some old friends. And seconds, please, to some home-style cooking. Come on, there'll be good times, groovy times, the kind you'll always remember long after you've lost your mind.
Hello out there.
From TV Land, you're home away from home every night on Nick at Night.
Okay, so Nick at Night and TV Land, like the perfect combination. Nick at Night premiered on Nickelodeon, so the kids channel, in my opinion, in 1985 with its original lineup of Dennis the Menace, The Donna Reed Show, and Route 66. But I credit Nick at Night for introducing me to shows such as Dick Van Dyke, The Mary Tyler Moore Show, and one of my all-time favorites, Bewitched. You know, watching Nick at Night was like taking a history class without it being boring or monotonous. Were you a Nick at Night fan, TV Land?
The Patty Duke Show.
Patty Duke Show, yes. So Nick at Night was just, like I said, a way for me to, as a kid, without knowing, connect with my parents and shows that they watched growing up and that they related to. So, love some Nick at Night. Okay, this next show was intended for legitimate educational purposes that many, I think, elementary school teachers out there, former teachers, showed their classes throughout the 90s and 2000s, and I credit this program for pushing me to want to read more because the pages might just come to life. Let's take a look.
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. I can go anywhere, friends to know and ways to grow, a reading rainbow.
Gosh, reading Rainbow, y'all. Okay, I just asked Jeremy during that if he grew up with that. It was maybe you knew about it, but
I know the song.
No, the song. Rainbow, yes. So with host LeVar Burton, oh my gosh, this was the absolute best memory of my early education days. I can vividly remember the scenario when Reading Rainbow was on the docket. The TV would be wheeled in on a cart. I think anyone from 1990 and on. Producer Jake said all the time, 2 classes in my elementary school would typically cram into one room. Wasn't enough seats, so some kids would have to sit on the floor, crisscross applesauce, you know. A Reading Rainbow Day was like the Super Bowl of learning. Plus, we would either get to bring a snack or the teachers would hand out treats for us. Just the good old days of Reading Rainbow. And LeVar Burton, love him to pieces. Okay, this final show was pulled. Not entirely familiar with it, however, Jeremy, I believe you and Jesse raved about it a few weeks back. It aired on Disney Channel, starting in the mid-1980s through the early 1990s. It was a youth-oriented show with musical performances. So, Jeremy, this is one for you.
Better look around, hear the sound. Something special's gonna come your way. We've got something that is new, that is true. We've got something just for you today.
I-D-S.
Kids. Okay, so like I said, I wasn't familiar with this, but just watching that, if I were a kid consuming that, I would totally be like, I want to go into music. I want to go into acting. I want to go into theater. Is this a show? I know you didn't get Disney Channel, but this was a show.
I wanted to be on it, and I was mad at my parents for not moving us to Los Angeles so I could be on this show.
And if you guys notice, the very first singer that they go on to is Stacey Ferguson, better known as Fergie of the pop group The Black Eyed Peas and as a solo artist, Fergie. Now, I did not know about this show, but I would have to say, I guess, the show that I could compare it to was All That on Nickelodeon, which was like the SNL for kids. But like I said, watching that, I'd be like, absolutely move me to LA.
Also, just fun fact before we run out of time. Martika, she had Toy Soldiers, hit song. Jennifer Love Hewitt also got her start on this show as well. It was so many seasons they'd bring in new kids as they evolved out.
So like you had the Disney Mouse House Club, and then you had Kids Incorporated, kind of?
Yeah, Kids Incorporated was its own entity.
Right.
And and it actually made a lot of celebrities.
I need to ask my sisters if they watched this show, because they were kids
so
of
good.
the 80s.
And they would sing current hit songs of the day, but change the words so it wasn't so risque for kids, you know.
So like Kids Bop before Kids Bop.
Yeah, and they're like, I'm never gonna dance again. Yeah, all this kind of stuff.
Oh my
All
gosh, okay.
Don't go anywhere, so much more fun coming up after this.